Hey, lovely people. Welcome to our Thursday night call. And tonight just happens to be a really special call. It is BOGO week with doTERRA. And you may have been on our call on Monday night when we talked very specifically around the BOGO box. So the BOGO box is a special that we have a couple of times a year, and it's buy one doTERRA product and then get one or more free. And so October's offering is a beautiful little box that really sings to the season that we are actually moving into. So the girls and we've got some incredible presenters presenting with me tonight. If you don't already know me, my name is Jackie Arles. I'm a Blue Diamond leader with doTERRA, and I just love to educate. I've been with the company for over 11 years, and it literally has been a game changer in my life. We have Dr. Cedar Warren, expert pet vet, on the call, and she's going to be talking to us about cat and dog care with regards to how you can use this incredible BOGO box for your fur animals and how this BOGO box actually translates and relates to the human carers of our furry friends as well. We have Sylvia Junis on the call, who is a educator with the absolute mostest. She is a inclusion and learning support expert, and so she's going to be sharing with us how doTERRA, and particularly this BOGO box, relates to the classroom, to the kiddos, and how we can help teachers be regulated and maybe a bit of neurodivergence as well. We also have Louisa Ben Moha on the call tonight. She is a women's emotional well-being coach and carer in her own life with elderly parents. All of her children have finally flown the coop, but she's going to be talking to us about caring and emotional well-being for ourselves and how we can stay robust and resilient through the challenges as that sandwich generation. And myself, I'm going to be talking about metabolism, hormonal health, with a particular interest here in peri and menopause, and sharing some remarkable stories around some particular products in this kit that have really made a difference to my health and well-being. So let's get going, everyone. Okay, so the goal of this class is really to empower you to feel so comfortable with using your doTERRA products, specifically this BOGO box. You're going to learn three or some things about our products. Okay, 3 ways to safely use doTERRA products and how to simply have them in your home and start benefiting. So our concerns, and we're really going to dial into them tonight, is mental and emotional wellness, including in the classroom, including carers, our kids, and our family. Essential oils are incredible for regulating our emotional well-being, stabilizing our mood, and regulating central nervous system and our fight or flight response. We're going to be talking about body discomfort and disconnect, part of the hormonal transition is inflammation. Okay, Cedar is going to talk about inflammation in our animals, toxic load and immunity. If you're not already aware about our houses can be more toxic than outside in the environment, and actually having a dirty house can be more healthy for you than a clean house because of all the chemicals that we use. We're certainly going to dial into that tonight as well. We're going to talk about natural weight management. We're going to talk about hormone and metabolic support, because if we are metabolically well, we're going to find so many other things in our life will just fall into place. Sleep and stress, so critical, and energy and vitality. So welcome to the BOGO kit. This is your low tox life. Every aspect of your lifestyle and your home, we can utilize these incredible products. So Copaiba Touch, Ice Blue, Grapefruit, the Coast Blend, Tea Tree, Citrus Bloom, which is one of my favorite diffuser blends and also to replace a perfume, lemongrass, lavender, purify, Metapower Assist, and On Guard Cleaning Concentrate. When you have doTERRA, it's not just you have the product and an opportunity to buy wholesale every month and improve your wellness. You get us. And I think that's the most special thing about doTERRA is this incredible supportive community that you have for life. And our job and our desire and our wish is to just have you healthy, vibrant, and living your best life very well into our older years. Okay, so why is low tox? Why is utilizing doTERRA every day so important? We need to switch high risk, high tox to low tox because the stats are actually scary. Sperm count in males has decreased 60% since 1973. I was running into Woolworths to get a couple of things for dinner before the class tonight. And one of the Woolworths employees, I could smell him 10 meters away. And I wanted to say to him, hey, mate, I know you think you smell great, but all I can think of is, oh God, how many sperm have you killed this afternoon? Like it is scary. The use of assisted reproductive technology is increasing by 10% per year. Not only are we finding that females are having fertility problems, but rising men are shooting blanks, if I could say that. 1 in 13 children have food allergies. The cases of autoimmune diseases are increasing by up to 10% a year. Chronic disease is skyrocketing. And as a nation, we are the sickest that we have ever been. Only 7% of us eat the right amount of fruit and vegetables and fiber to actually maintain best cell health. So it's really, really important for us to take control now. And that's something that we can simply do by empowering our homes in a low tox way. So we are the gatekeepers to our healthy home and our healthy family and our healthy selves. If you're not already aware of the mission and the holistic nature of doTERRA, not only do we have the cleanest and the most potent wellness products on the planet, we are the largest essential oil company in the world. But what is so beautiful about us is where we source our flowers for lavender is just as important as dropping a bottle off with a courier of lavender in your home. So we help the world heal. We change lives on both sides of the bottle. And part of being associated with doTERRA is the ability to impact lives right from the farm and the harvesters through to our door. And we have a program called Healing Hands Foundation, which is our charitable arm. So please reach out to the person that invited you tonight to give you more information about what Healing Hands is. We could do a class, and I think we might do that, actually, a class on healing hands. Okay, the areas doTERRA products can make a difference to lower the chemical load in your life. And these are very, very simple swaps. And we're going to talk about those tonight, utilizing the BOGO box, cleaning, economical pre-made products. That is your On Guard cleaning concentrate, which is in the BOGO box. 1 bottle of On Guard cleaning concentrate, people, makes 22 other bottles of cleaning product. Because this is concentrated, we have a recipe, you just dilute it down, and this one product will replace every other cleaning product underneath your sink. So if you think about like I don't know, haven't even bought a spray and wipe in, I don't know, in 15 plus years. How much are they? It's about $5 or $6. So if you can multiply that across like 4 different products for each area of your home, you're making a significant saving just swapping out your On Guard cleaning concentrate for your purse, but not only your health and well-being. Personal care, it's really important to replace those perfumes, those personal care products that are laden with toxins, which are really affecting our weight, really affecting our fertility. Aroma and air freshening. This is where we ditch our candles. Are you aware how toxic candles are in your life? Just grab a diffuser. So simple. And pharmaceuticals, we know there is so many deaths in hospitals because of prescribed pharmaceutical overdoses. Many hospital beds every day of the week around Australia and around the world. People are being admitted because of prescription medication misuse. So if we can start low risk first, it's better for our health and well-being. We can replace a lot of those Panadols, those Nurophens with our essential oils, which with our doTERRA TGA supplements that are all registered natural medicines that are anti-inflammatories that reduce headaches, for example, or reduce the symptoms and the inflammatory load of arthritis, for example. So really wonderful way to just go through your house and high tox it out with low toxin doTERRA. So about us, we are safe. We're 100% natural. There is minimal to no side effects on any of our products. And purity and potency is our ethos. Nothing passes go unless it is pure and potent and therapeutic. Ethical, co-impact sourcing, our healing hands. We partner with farmers on the ground, with harvesters. We're about fair pay, empowerment, building up communities, working alongside, not owning, having co-ops. We're effective. Essential oils very quickly permeate the cell membranes, and it can take only 22 seconds for you to actually feel the desired results from using a frankincense or a peppermint, for example, or a wintergreen. And we are affordable. When you break down how many packets of Panadol, for example, you would get out of one bottle of Frankie, when you only need to take the lid off your oil and swipe to make it effective. You don't even need to tip and drop. You will be very surprised the bang for your buck. Okay, how we use our products. The 3 ways is aromatically, either diffusing or inhaling. So a couple of drops. Cedar's putting her oils on topically at the moment. I'm dropping into the palm of my hands and breathing into Shinrin Yoku, the forest bathing blend. Really great for lowering pulse rate, lowering stress, calming blood pressure, regulating nervous system, taking you from fight or flight. Topically, we can apply to the area. That provides localized benefits. We dilute with a carrier oil and we roll it on the area for it to be held in the tissues for a longer period. Using roller bottles on kids is the way to go as well. And many of our oils are food grade, used for oral use. So the grapefruit, the lemongrass, and the lavender in the BOGO kit are wonderful, wonderful oils to cook for. And please reach out to the person who invited you tonight for them to send you a little recipe book that I did up last week about the oils in this BOGO box and summer cooking. Okay, let's dive into this class. Is a niche class, everyone. So we're going to be talking about animal care. We're going to be talking about perimenopause care, metabolic health. We're going to be talking about oils in the classroom and emotional resilience and physical resilience as a multi-generational carer. So without further ado, can I please introduce my friend and an extraordinary colleague of mine, Dr. Cedar Warren, and she's going to talk us through how to utilize this BOGO kit for our furry animals, especially our cats and dogs.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jackie, and I am going to have an easy air drop because I have a bit of an ongoing virus at the moment. So lemongrass is in the box and it's an absolute winner. You can use it in the food for humans, but that's going to be talked about later. Lemongrass is an absolute powerhouse. It can be used for the digestive support for dogs and cats. It's an anti-inflammatory and analgesic, which means that it can be used for pain, getting rid of pain in animals. And it can be used for helping the musculoskeletal system of dogs and cats. It also can be used to help the nervous system and the urinary tract and the hormone system, which is the endocrine system, and the heart system, the cardiovascular system of dogs and cats. Helps in regulating the circulation system of dogs and cats, and can be very helpful in emotional cases of dogs as well. With cats, it helps with cats' skin, in their immune system, their urinary tract, their hormone system. Now, interestingly enough, it helps with the thyroid in animals, probably also in humans, but that can be talked about later. It's an anti-inflammatory, and it also is an incredibly great smelling oil. I love it. And yes, it's used a lot in my house. Also with animals, they have incredible sense of smell, and it's much more sensitive than humans, especially we need to take note. So dilution is very important. Less is more, and there are, in cats, you usually use 0.5 to 2%. So that usually equates to about 1 to 2 drops in about 10 mils of carrier oil. You can use fractionated coconut oil. You can use jojoba oil. We do sell fractionated coconut oil, so that's something to keep in mind, because that does help. And you can either make it up in like a little dish, and then you can rub it on your hands, and then you can put it on your cat's ear tips, or you can put it on your dog's ear tips, or you can rub it on their fur. Cats will actually get it by grooming themselves, and dogs, it will get into their blood system through their fur. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is the gift oil, which I've just been putting on myself, copaiba, or some people call it a different name. It's a resin. It actually affects the pain system in the body, and it's also very calming oil. It also, because it's calming, it will have great benefits in terms of behavioural, and it's very anti-anxiety. It's already diluted in the little bottle. As you can see, it's in a roller ball. So the way you do it is you rub it on your own hands, because you don't want to get the roller ball dirty. So you rub it on your own hands, and then again, you rub it on your animal, because you don't want the little roller ball to get dirty. So you rub it again on the ear tips of your cats or dogs, and also on the fur. You can put it on their pads as well, because that's a really good way to get it onto them. Rub it on their belly, where there's no fur, or onto the paws. And it's a really good oil. It's absolutely amazing. This Jackie will talk more about the science behind that. I think we're ready to go on to the next slide. Thanks. Now, lavender, you've probably all heard about lavender, but there are some lavenders that are not like ours. Ours are fully tested, and it's called gas chromatography. So they test each batch, they actually test each actual bottle. And there's a number on the bottom that you'll find, or even on the side, and that you can go to sourcetu.com, and it will actually tell you what's actually in it. And ours are incredible because it will only have lavender in it. It won't have any synthetics, phthalates, or fillers. And we are the only ones on the market in the whole world that actually have only the oil in it. Compared with other products on the market, you'll find that our oils are 100% pure. Lavender is quite an incredible oil. If you typed in there's a scientific thing called PubMed, which is published medicine, and there are scientific papers. PubMed has thousands and thousands of documented, peer-reviewed means they've had other scientists look at them before they actually are published, and there are absolutely thousands of peer-reviewed lavender oil science published documents that show that lavender is an incredible anti-inflammatory and antibacterial oil. It's so incredible, and there's no resistance, unlike antibiotics. So this is an amazing oil, because we're finding more and more there's resistance to antibiotics in the human and the animal world. So this is an amazing oil. It's also a calming oil for both dogs and cats. It's also helpful, therefore, in many types of behavioural issues, including anxiety. It also has anti-pain properties, meaning analgesic properties, and it helps in the immune system of animals. It's also helpful in skin conditions in dogs and cats, and it's also useful against parasites such as bugs, also ticks, fleas, and it's got such great anti-inflammatory qualities. It's also helpful in respiratory systems, and there's a really great a lady called Florence Nightingale went and discovered why the French were not having infections in their hospitals, and she found that the French were using lavender water, and that sort of started off discovering why lavender was so important. So it's a very useful in conjunction with other oils, and it's also great in musculoskeletal systems of dogs and cats. Lavender can also be useful in the reproductive cycle and regulation of dogs and cats that haven't actually been desexed, that are specifically used for breeding. Thanks. Ready for thanks. We got that. Great. Now, Coast is an incredible blend. It's only available in Australia and New Zealand, so we're very fortunate. When you smell it, it smells like the beach. Orange is one of the oh yes, you always have to dilute lavender with animals. Every oil has to be diluted with animals. When I talk about all oils, they have to be diluted with animals. So when I'm talking about all oils, they have to be diluted with animals. So just keep that under advisement. Coast has orange in it, and that can be found to stimulate the appetite of dogs and cats. It has cedarwood in it, which is actually an anti-pain oil. It's also great for bugs. It also helps with the musculoskeletal system. Douglas fir is in it, which is great for airway support and is great for strengthening the support of the musculoskeletal system. It's also got lemongrass in it, which we've already talked about. It's got magnolia in it, which is really calming. And it's also got pepper, which adds to the strength. Because there's citrus in this, if you've diluted it, as we talked about, dilution is always important when you're using oils with animals. Because it's got citrus in it, whenever there's citrus in an oil, you've got to be aware that citrus has UV effects. So it's important to keep your animal, if you've actually put it on your animal, it's important to keep any pale-skinned animals out of the sun. And there's a typo here, to keep them out of the sun for 24 hours. So that's the same with the next blend, which is one of my absolute favorites. And I do use it myself as a perfume, Citrus Bloom. This has got wild orange, grapefruit, lavender, magnolia, and Roman chamomile in it. Now, the wild orange and the grapefruit make it quite an uplifting blend. The citruses make it very uplifting, but the lavender, magnolia, and the Roman chamomile all act to make an enormously calming blend. This has the most beautiful scent and is an absolute favourite of mine. I actually put this on in my diffuser to go to sleep. One of them, I just cannot live without this. So this is a beautiful oil. How often can you use these on your animals? You can use them probably once every 6 hours. I'd say you could use them. That's not going to hurt them. And I would I just find the citrus bliss is absolutely beautiful. Now, the next one is On Guard Cleaning Concentrate. Now, as Jackie said, you can make up 22 bottles of this. I have this in my home. I've got my extended family to use this and friends because it's so great. It's got cinnamon and clove in it. Clove is really good for antifungal. Now, you don't use this on animals, but it's safe to use in your home. It's a wonderful low tox alternative to cleaning products. It actually kills so many bugs and germs. It lasts me a very long time. I use it as a dishwashing liquid. I use it to make up an alternative to the toxic Jif that we all once probably would have seen our grandmothers using, or gumption. Just using, there's a simple recipe that you can grab. We can probably have that, one of us would have it online, with bicarb and some filtered water and a couple of squirts of this. I also make a multi-purpose spray with lemon essential oil, 20 drops, filtered water, and 2 squirts of this in an amber bottle. Some people add vinegar, but I don't. And this just is so great, because if Larry is a naughty cat, which he can be because he's only 2, and he's my kitty cat, he jumps on surfaces. If he licks the surface, he's not going to get poisoned. And I'm also know that I'm not going to get poisoned. And also I use it on my floors. I've got hardwood floors, and it's an incredible product. And it's so much cheaper. I think Jackie did a fantastic reel the other day, which you can see. And she showed how it's so much cheaper than any of the toxic products. Vinegar is not bad for animals. No, I just find it a little bit strong. It's not one of my favorite smells, so I just prefer not to use it. That's all. Vinegar's safe, absolutely safe for animals. Many people find it a really good cleaning agent, and in fact, you can use it instead of Finish. That, some people put it in their dishwasher in that area to make their dishes dry. I don't use that in my dishwasher. We have a really good dishwasher powder. I've bought one lot of it. It's still lasting me a whole long time. And I use vinegar, but I just prefer not to make it up. Vinegar's safe for animals, absolutely fine. I just prefer not to use it. So this is fantastic. I've got my mum onto this. She was very old school, but I've got everybody I can think onto this. It's absolutely fantastic, and it smells great. All right, now Purify. Where is my Purify? Here's Purify. This is a wonderful blend for cleansing the air of smells. You can put it in your runners. You can put a couple of drops in your kitty litter to make your kitty litter not smell. It's got great oils in it, like lemon, Siberian fir, citronella, lime, cilantro. It has got some tea tree in it. So some people say, oh yes, I've heard not to use tea tree at all around cats. We don't diffuse tea tree or birch or wintergreen in dogs or cats, but because it is doTERRA tea tree, we can use it in the kitty litter. If you were to diffuse it, I would probably just use 2 drops and just carefully observe your dog or cat for any unusual behaviour. But I've diffused it plenty of times and there's never been a problem. All right, I think we can move on. Thank you. All right, and that's it for me.
Sita, thank you very much. There was one question, I may have missed it. Can you use On Guard Cleaning Concentrate diluted to wash your animals in?
I probably wouldn't. I'd probably make up I probably wouldn't use it because it has got the cinnamon and the clove, and we do tend not to use their hot oils. So we don't tend to use cinnamon and clove directly on topically. I do have a recipe for fly repellent on my I could probably put one up. I probably would put one up next week, if that's okay with everyone.
I think that's great.
But I wouldn't use it because it's got clove and cinnamon, and they're hot oils. There is actually, I probably would rather use lavender and cedarwood, or lavender and copaiba, or lavender and frankincense. But lavender and cedar would probably be better. Yeah, I wouldn't use On Guard Cleaner Concentrate to wash your
Yeah.
animal. Yeah. All right.
Thank you. And we'll make a note for you to put up that repellent blend cedar for
Yeah.
next week.
Virus. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, Sylvia, we are looking forward to hearing about this incredible BOGO kit and how it relates to teachers, kiddos, and clean classrooms.
That's right. Thank you, Jackie, and welcome everyone. So good to see you all online. I see that there's a fellow teacher online too, which is awesome. So tonight I was just thinking about our emotional well-being at this time of year. Ladies, it is only week 3, the end of week 3. However, it is term 4, and we still need to have our steam going to the finish line. And it only gets more busy. I know that Emma on call had her um, swimming carnival that she organised today. So well done to you, Emma. And I hope that you've got some lavender at home that you can put on your pillow and inhale before you go to bed, love. So good job from one teacher to another. So we might kick off with lavender. Lavender is just such a one-stop shop for everything. We do think about its calming properties. We do think about it for sleep and rest. And you can use it throughout the day, not to go to bed per se, but just to still have the lower cortisol levels that we do need for when we do switch off of a night time to bring in those natural sleep movements that we do need for our rest and relaxation. What I love about lavender is you can put that in a little spray for your kids' hair as well as tea tree. And that's basically for little buggies that happen for school age kids. Another thing is it is beautiful as a too much after sun type spray that you can make. So if you've been sunburnt, you can have a beautiful little bottle of lavender oil spray with a bit of coconut oil, a fractionated coconut oil, and just spritz that all over you. It is really cool and calming as well, which I love. And my other use for lavender is for skin rashes and insect bites. I used to make that up when I had my prep class, and we would have lavender and tea tree in a little bottle. And it was just a little spritzer that had run out of tea tree. And I was like, well, let's just put all this little concoction in. And it really stopped the itches for little tiny preps that, they focus on one little scratch and then they scratch it till it's awful. So we basically have that as Mrs. Jewis's magic spray in our classroom. Jumping back to lavender though, I did have a little spray bottle and a diffuser for after lunchtime, particularly we did mindful meditation and prayer. And so I would just set the tone and set the room for the kids. And then after second lunch, when it's really hot and bothery about 2 o'clock, the mindfulness would come on and they would have their little snuggly in their pillow and they'd have a little rest and we'd have lavender going. So tea tree lavender, amazing for the classroom, amazing for us as the educators as well, because when we're, applying and distributing oils, we're getting those benefits too. Ice blue. Oh my word. We had this the other day for our buy one, get one. Ice blue comes in this gorgeous little bottle and it has blue tansine, blue chamomile, and some other beautiful oils in it. And basically, it's muscle relief, but we hold a lot of our tension up here, don't we, fellow ladies, mums, teachers, educators, carers, all the rest. And that's like our emotional tension. So when we have like stresses in our life, which comes with teaching little people, we can often hold it in our shoulders. And so applying some of that with fractionated coconut oil not only penetrates the skin, but it actually makes it go further and it carries it into our muscles. So doing that before bed is just a beautiful self-care ritual that you can do. I currently have a little flare up in my foot, which is like plantar fasciitis, thanks, pregnancy. I'm pretty sure that's where I developed that from. But being on your feet, I do a lot of walking around campuses from our junior school to senior school. So working between those two spaces for inclusive ed. And I probably wasn't wearing the nicest shoes. They were super cute though. Probably weren't the best shoes for walking such kilometers every day. And when I get off call, I'm going to get my husband to, because he's good like that too. Give me a nice foot rub and have ice blue penetrating that skin there. My other thing is grapefruit. Oh, it's the BOGO today. Grapefruit and MetaPower Assist, which is incredible products for our metabolism, our metabolic health. Teachers, we have such terrible diets. Oh my word. Don't even get started when it's report card time. So basically, the grapefruit is such a beautiful additive to your water, a beautiful, safe way to get some gorgeous metabolism type oils into our bodies, as well as the MetaPower Assist. Oh, have that with your largest meal of the day. Mine tends to be lunch, so before lunchtime happens, and because we get fed at the dining hall, which is so wonderful and kind and caring of our school, because they are feeding the masses. Obviously, the bulky type ingredients that we consume need to be broken down. So MetaPower Assist helps break down the carbs and the sugars that are in our foods. And so by having your grapefruit in your water as well, you're hydrating and you're getting some beautiful oils into your digestive system, as well as the MetaPower Assist. I haven't got that on there, so I do apologize, but I have MetaPower Assist in my bag on my desk, just so then I remember, I can take one and have that activated before I go to lunchtime. Two more oils I want to touch on, ladies, and gents, sorry, is Purify. Purify is such a great little oil. I'm really looking forward to getting my BOGO box because I do need this one and the next one I'm going to talk about. Purify, it is like the clean house smell, and a clean classroom smell is awesome when you've had 25 little people sweating up a storm in the summer's heat. So a bit of spritzing around, but my big things is a cotton ball in the bin area or under the bin, or near the bin with a little peg or something. Put a few drops of Purify just to help detox that smelly area. Also, I was thinking the scrap bins that happen at school, which is really cool that we do our eco-friendly stuff, but they can be a bit whiffy if our senior people haven't emptied them, because let's face it, always goes back to the grade 6 kids. And my last one for the Purify was for the lost property basket that happens at the office. Some of those jumpers, they stay in there with the stinky socks and stuff. And I just thought the poor women who work in the offices, they need a little bit of Purify in their lost property bin. The last product I want to talk about is the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. Guys, I love using this because it is so affordable. Like, you could do a math lesson on actually breaking that down and using it so cost effectively. And you know how you get 22 bottles? Well, a prep class is 22 kids. How amazing. They each get their little spritzer bottle and they can clean all of their glue and all of their marker and all of their pencil shavings off their own desks. And they're getting some really good stuff going on. They're filling their own cups because they're helping the teacher. They're filling their own cups because they're taking time and care to clean their desks and things. I use this all the time with my little people. They loved it. Like, I had several going at the same time because they just loved doing the spray and the wipes and stuff like that. So that is my class in a nutshell. I'm not sure if there were any questions, but my thing is to you guys is, if you are a parent, or even if you work in a school and you have colleagues and teachers to buy for, I think doing the BOGO box and splitting it up to your teachers and your dance teachers and your, tutors and all those sorts of things is a really awesome way to bust out some gorgeous Christmas presents that beat having scented candles and bath bombs. Just saying, from a teacher. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, Sylvia, I just love listening to you present. Yeah. Oh, the amount of toxins that you must that come across your desks in a 12-month time frame would be scary. So thank you so much for sharing that. My nose had the aroma of the wet moldy jumper on with the socks that's been there since term 2. Yeah, I can't get that out of my mind. So thank you so much. Okay. Louisa, I am so looking forward to this. You are a women's wellbeing coach and you're right in the thick of caring, the sandwich generation at the moment and caring for both of your parents. So I think the majority of us on the call will really relate to what you have to share with us tonight about this incredible kit and how we can stay upright, stay resilient while dealing with stuff that we actually don't want to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for putting me on after a teacher. I mean, really. So I'm actually looking at you guys from my phone because I've had to spend another night in Brisbane at Mum and Dad's place, so I can't even read what's on my slide. So I'm just going to talk about, we're just going to wing it. Okay. So I am the carer of my parents. I don't live with my parents, but I am down in Brisbane almost half the week, dealing with a lot of stuff, as so many other people in my generation, my age group, are care of their parents, and they've also still got either kids at home or kids that have moved out that you're still sort of looking after and worrying about. So I'm going to just I've got so much information, and I really want to just try and give you as much information as possible without waffling on too much. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the top 10 challenges that women who are in the sandwich generation and caring, what they find pops up most for them. And then I'm sort of going to give you a little bit of information about each of the oils and how that can help. And I have got like a daily protocol, morning, noon and night, which I don't know that I'm going to get to tonight, but if I don't, then I'll post it somewhere and everyone can share it with their people. So the things are fatigue and low energy when we're juggling caring roles, plus often working in our own jobs, household tasks and personal life leads to exhaustion. And these are ones that I'm all finding, these are the top 10 for me. This is what I'm finding with challenging with being a carer. The brain fog and the reduced mental clarity. So there's constant switching between roles. We're multitasking, and we know that, us women, we always say we're great at multitasking, but we actually shouldn't be multitasking. Interrupted sleep can also have a huge impact on our focus and our memory. So, there's that joke, you walk into a room and you sort of think, why am I here? Well, that gets amplified when you're menopausal and you're also looking after, you're in a carer's position. The sleep disruption and the poor quality sleep when you do go to sleep. I've actually been, for quite a while now, I'm in bed at 8:30 and I wake up at 5:15, 5:20 to do an hour of yoga. But even sleeping that amount of time, I'm still waking up exhausted. So I know that I'm actually in a sleep deficit, and that my brain is not switching off properly. And when that happens, I think back to what I did the night before with regards to the oily protocols, and it'll always be that I didn't do it properly. I skipped some things. So, making sure that you stick to a protocol that's really simple but effective is really, really important when it comes to me for sleep quality. So we've also got the hormonal and menopausal transitions. Like, it's some sort of sick universal joke. Like, I sort of go, really? That when we're in this beautiful transitional stage in our life, which, when you look at it and the energy behind it, it is actually a beautiful rite passage for us to move through. But then the universe kind of throws in that's when your parents get ill. That's when you need to step up and be their carer. So you're getting it from all angles. So it's really the hot flashes, the mood changes, the metabolism, the weight, all of that, the up and down with the emotional fluctuations. Metabolism and the weight and the body composition. Now, as time goes on, we tend to sort of get a little bit thicker in our parts of our body. But when we are carers and we're also going through the changes of metabolism, menopause or premenopause, we tend to not focus so much on what we're eating because we're so busy reflecting outwards. We've taken away our self-care, or some of it to some sort of an extent. So our body changes, our muscle mass changes, and our energy levels change. And this is a huge one for me. I've really noticed, sometimes I've got a full-length mirror in my walk-in wardrobe, and sometimes I'll catch myself on my bra and knickers and think, wow, when did that happen? Oh my God. And we've just got to be kind. We've just got to be kind to ourselves, because this stage in our life is so emotionally fraught and difficult that if we can't be mean to ourselves. We really have to give ourselves compassion. The self-care and the neglect. So caring so much for others means that our own wellness, our own time for exercise, our own time for food prepping and planning, maybe our nutrition is not as rich as it would normally be because we're finding fast things, or we're just, when it comes to Sunday afternoon, and that's normally my food prepping day, I'm so exhausted, I'll go and have a nap, or I'll just lie out in the sun and read for a bit. So these are things that tend to slip. So this is when we need to outsource. Who do we know? Someone who does home cook-ups, who does nutritional meals, that sort of thing. Where can we tap in to use these people, and what oils can we use to support ourselves? We've got the burnout and the compassion fatigue. So long-term caring without the adequate recovery can lead to emotional and physical exhaustion. So this is adrenal fatigue, this is burnout, this is mental and emotional fatigue, complete. You do not want to get to that level. And I know that I'm getting closer to it, and I keep pulling myself back using these oils to support me, because I do not want to get to that stage, because then I'm no good to anybody. We also have the resentment and the guilt dynamic. So we have guilt about trying to prioritize ourselves. We have resentment about the switch in the roles in the relationship with the parent and the child, and suddenly you're having to be the parent and they're the child. So there's this resentment and guilt that sort of steps into that as well. Even though you don't want to, it can. And when you look at the energy and the vibrational frequency, guilt, and then when you feel guilty, you then feel ashamed because you're feeling guilty. So these are two of the lowest vibrational frequencies in the universe. So we do not want to stay in those places. So this is where the essential oils can help shift us through those. Isolation and loss of identity. So carers often feel less seen. They have fewer social connections because you're so exhausted, you don't want to go out. And sometimes my brain is so full and overwhelmed that I just don't want to be around people. I just don't want to have conversations with people. And that sounds terrible because I work with people. But when it comes to my downtime, I'm on my farm. I'm with my donkeys. I'm with my husband. I'm with the horses. I don't want to people. So it can take a hit on your friends, your relationships, your hobbies, and just basically the whole self-renewal that you get when you're around high vibrational friends. So I'm going to quickly go through these oils. Jackie, please give me the timeout if I start going on too long. I'm going to do this really quickly. So grapefruit is all about detox. It's metabolism. It's lymphatic movement. When we don't move our body, our lymphatic system can become stagnant. So grapefruit is really good for this, and so is lemongrass. It is the oil of, joy and body acceptance. So it also supports our metabolic system, our endocrine system, our lymphatic system, and emotionally balancing. It also refreshes and uplifts. So it's a citrus oil. They always make you feel good. They make you feel better. I cleaned like a maniac the other day for like all day, and I just used the essential oils in my spray bottle, and just smelling the citrus oils and having them on my hands, because I don't need to wear gloves when I'm cleaning the toilet or the grout in the shower. You're absorbing it aromatically and topically. So it's a mood enhancing. It actually is great for the emotional fatigue and low motivation, healthy weight management. It also encourages a really positive body connection and self-love, which I spoke a little bit about before. I don't want to say we let ourselves go, but we are just so busy and so overwhelmed that we just, things sort of slide, and we have to be okay with that. We have to acknowledge it and accept it and think, okay, for now I'm doing the best I can. Moving forward, let me see what I can do, little bits, little bit at a time. Now, grapefruit you don't want to put on and then go and lie out in the sun or work in the garden, because you could have a reaction with the sun on that. Copaiba or copaiba, depending what country you're in, is how you'll pronounce it. This is all about calming our nervous system, supporting, grounding and surrendering our expectations of ourselves as a carer. I should be doing more. I should be better. I should be a better daughter. I should be, there's all of this stuff that we say about ourselves. It's deeply calming, and it supports the endocannabinoid system. Okay. Now, this is the same system that CBD oil works on. So there's a whole conversation around copaiba oil and CBD oil that can be another alive. The difference between the two, they actually work very closely on the same sort of body system, but there are so many more benefits for the copaiba essential oil. I can go into that another time. So easing tension and the emotional overwhelm. It also supports joint and muscle comfort after a long day on your feet, caring for people. If you're lifting people, bending, picking up their walkers, putting them in the boots, that sort of thing. It really helps with the emotional fatigue and the compassion burnout as well. Ice Blue, my God, I am a massage therapist and I have been for 30 years. So that's one of the avenues of my business. And I use Ice Blue. Actually, most of these oils I use on my clients, whether they know it or not. It's all about the muscular relief. It's all about the circulation, because once again, if we're not moving as much as we normally would, we become stagnant. So the circulation can become an issue. So it's also about the easing of the emotional burdens that we place on ourselves as a carer. Particularly, I find as a daughter, my brother and I both help with mum and dad, but I find that I tend to take things on a lot more emotionally and energetically than he does. He's much more compartmentalized, whereas it's all emotional and all the rest of it. It supports our muscular system, our skeletal system, our nervous system. It's anti-inflammatory. It's cooling on our body, which is great. So it helps to reduce the inflammation by that cooling effect. So great for shoulders, as I said, anywhere that really hurts after a long day of being a carer. The Coast blend. Now, I really didn't know a lot about this blend until I started doing research for this, and it's so amazing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I've got this. So really, really great for respiratory support. So think air pollution, think being in closed rooms. And I don't know if this is the same with other people's older people, older parents. The houses seem to be closed up. Like they don't like to open windows and doors and let the breeze through all the time, because they're cold all the time. So everything's always closed up. So diffusing this in those closed rooms will help to refresh, but also to help with their respiratory support as well as my own. Now, it's another great blend for when we are grieving. So when we grieve, we hold it in our chest. And when we are breathing or diffusing or applying a blend like the Coast blend on our chest, we take deeper breaths. So we throw our shoulders back and we expand our chest. So this also helps to any loss, grief, any of those emotions that we hold in our heart that we've sort of blocked down because we've got to get through it and we've got to suck it up and we've just got to do it, blah, blah, blah. This will help release that and move that, because if we don't release and move these energies through our body, they become blocked and stagnant, and then they can turn into what we call disease. So we want to be able to move that. Great for the workplace, energetically helps to reconnect to your own boundaries and your own breath. So really good one to use on your hands. Take 3 deep breaths in, release, another breath in, release. So doing that 3 times will really help support your nervous system, your respiratory system, and to just give you that feeling of you've got it. Okay, I'm calm. It's a very grounding oil. So you get the gist. Tea tree. I love tea tree. I use tea tree. I've used tea tree for years. I put it on the back of my neck before I work with clients. I put it on the back of my neck before I go anywhere where there's a lot of people. It's all about the energetic boundaries. Tea tree helps support us through those. So if you're someone who, maybe people have said you're a bit of a doormat. You let people, you're a yes person. You don't have clear boundaries because you're not really quite sure what your priorities or what your values are, and you just want to help everybody. This is a boundary issue. So tea tree really helps with that. It's also great for your immune system. It's great for cleansing. It's also great for protecting, so you're not absorbing other people's energies. And that's why I put it on the back of my neck before I work on clients, because I release a lot of energy in my clients and I don't want their energy getting stuck in me. So always really good to do a cleansing around your aura, but also particularly at the back here, because that's where a lot of energy can penetrate without getting too woo-woo. Now, it's also great for your skin, minor cuts, blemishes, irritations. And one of the beautiful things, like, gosh, it wasn't enough that we have all of this stuff going on, but, when we get menopausal, we suddenly get pimples again. Like, what the hell is that about? Seriously. So, applying tea tree either neat or with the roller bottle onto, these little pimples that suddenly come up because of hormonal imbalances is a really, really great way to look after your skin as well. Citrus bloom, another beautiful one that is, I think it was Cedar said she's using it as a perfume. My God, another one that I didn't really know a lot about, and I'm addicted to it. I absolutely love it. Great for hormonal uplifting and mood enhancing. It's all about the feminine energy, renewing our feminine energy, and opening our heart space. So really, really great for our endocrine system, our nervous system, and gives us a lot of emotional support. So if you're feeling burnt out or dull, or there's no joy in your life, this is a great oil to use. I would also be using it on my sacral chakra energy, which is just below your belly button, because that is where the joy and the creativity is where we boil it up from. So that's, if you're talking in an energy term. It encourages optimism, emotional renewal, and as I said, it's just a beautiful feminine reconnecting, because you're so busy doing. It's nice to use this and just go back into your feminine side of the just being in your own space, being in that feminine energy and vibration. Lemongrass, all about detoxing. It's all about clarification. It's all about cleansing. It's also a great one for your lymphatic system, clearing stagnant energy. Lemongrass is amazing. Diffuse it if you feel there's some funky stuff in your home, or if the home's just closed up a lot. But it's also really good to use if you're doing like aroma dressing on your body to help shift, lymphatic fluids through your body, because we need to get them out. Cedar, you mentioned about the thyroid support. So yes, it is actually a really good one too. There is actually a blend. Jackie, I think you gave it to me ages ago, because I have an issue with my thyroids. They're very inactive. They're pretty much non-existent. So there is a beautiful blend that helps to support your thyroid health, applying that on your neck. So circular system, immune, detoxification, another one for emotional release as well. Uplifting, anything sluggish or that you need cleansing, think lemongrass. Lavender, oh my God, lavender is one of my favorite oils. It's probably the most researched oil on the planet. It's the best one. I love it for sleep. I love it for stress reduction. It lowers your cortisol levels really quick. It's great for hormones. It's just great for peace and emotional release and resilience. Supports our nervous system, our sleep, our skin, and it's really emotionally soothing. So when you actually inhale lavender, you don't need to think, okay, I'm going to be calm, because it happens in split seconds that your body your brain sends messages and chemicals and your body just starts to relax. So I love having lavender in my like in hot water at night as a tea to help me sleep. I've got the lavender beside my bed. I diffuse it at night. I put it on every morning in my face moisturizer. I have 3 oils I put on my face with my moisturizer in the morning, and then again at night. Not just for the skin health, but predominantly for the stress, the stress relief. So I love, 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 love lavender. Purify, detoxing the air and the energy. So very similar to the lemongrass and the detoxing and purifying. Supports our immune system, respiratory system. It's great for the environment and the energetic cleansing of our environment. It's really great for carers who are exposed to germs. So, you know, old people and their hygiene is not like spot on sometimes, and sometimes we need to give them a hand, and sometimes we need to clean things in their home that, you know, you wouldn't normally have to do. So it's really good to have this on hand. Now, I'm also, and this is sort of going off track a bit, but I'm one of those people who gets a mosquito bite or a midgie bite. I get welts. So this is an oil that I put straight onto my bites, and it actually stops the welts. Like my welts would get so big, my skin would crack. So really, really great for putting in your sprays, diffusing, to purify your environment. Metapower Assist, energy, metabolism, sugar balancing, empowerment and vitality. Supports the metabolic, the endocrine, the cardiovascular system. Great for energy regulation, because when we're carers, we're high 1 minute and then we crash down for the next minute. So we go all over the place, not just emotionally, but energetically as well. This is something that I've really stepped up into in the last few weeks. Thank you to Jackie for that, because not only for the metabolism and the weight and the body changes, but for that mood, you know, because of the swings and the sugar. Because I have noticed that I'm craving sugar. I'm an emotional eater. And because I had lunch at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm going to have dinner probably at 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight, which is a salad. But because everything is kind of askew, I'm craving sugar. So this is really helping me with the regulating of the blood sugar levels, preventing those midday crashes, and the mental clarity and focus. On Guard Cleaner, immune support, low tox living. You've got to be careful what's in your environment, because you're absorbing it. It only takes a matter of minutes before anything you've touched or put on your body is in your blood system. And I think it's like 26 minutes until every single cell in your body has been affected by whatever you're putting on your body. So think of all your chemicals in your home. Get rid of them. Like Jackie was talking earlier on, the damage that they're doing. And now it's becoming a lot more talked about, you know, what they are doing to all of our bodies. So we need to really be very mindful. The On Guard Cleaner, I clean everything in my home with it, from floor to kitchen to bathroom to toilet to walls to everything, absolutely everything. I'm not going to go through the morning ritual, the morning, noon, and evening, because I'm mindful of time, and I've tried not to dump too much information on you, but I will post it. And if anybody wants to chat with me or talk to me about what else I do, or if I can help, you know, anyone who's invited anyone, please reach out to me, because I've got a lot of information here that I haven't even touched on. That's me.
Thank you so much, Louisa. Goodness me, what an evening of incredible education. So I'm going to bring it home with hormonal balance. Like, this is all of the subjects that we're talking about tonight really, really need their own webinar. But this one's a big topic, but this one, I suppose the girls have already really honed in on some specifics here. So with regards to hormonal balance, it's toxic load, it's inflammation, and it's literally our cells blowing out. So how can we support ourselves through these changes? Both men and women go through infant change of life, hormonal redefinition, and the amount of inflammation, pro-inflammation in our system will really, really make a difference to how well and balanced that we go through this change of life. So the oils and the products in this BOGO kit, let's go through lemongrass first. So Lemongrass is great for fluid retention. It's a lymphatic decongester. It's great for joint health. It's very uplifting. It's great for endocrine. The girls have already mentioned thyroid health. It's really great for cardiovascular, really great for cholesterol balance. And it is an oil that will just help reduce the inflammatory load, the oxidative stress. So as things get old, if you look at an old post or an old steel boat, you can tell the age by the rust. You can tell our age by the rust inside us. And some of us at a younger age have more rust than others. So we need to look at reducing that rust, that toxic overload, that free radical damage, to be able for our cells to feel young and energized again, and to have that petrol in the tank. So as we age, we show signs of rust, and how that manifests is often pain and discomfort. So ice blue in your lemongrass, so that was the BOGO on the Monday, is specific for that pain management, that inflammatory load, for that stiffness that you will find in joints. So I didn't realize until I started going through menopause, and my doctors didn't even realize I got arthritic, achy thumbs and a frozen shoulder. No one, even my chiro, who was a woman, was not correlating change of life with shoulders and then thumbs. They're specific side effects of inflammation, joint changes, inflammatory load during change of life. So your lemongrass, your ice blue, and your copaiba is very, very specific for that pain, the recovery, for movement, and for general endocrine balance. So any flare-ups, and part of aging well is being able to continue to move. There is just generalized walking. There is so much science we can't ignore that going for a walk morning and evening is going to be one of the number one things that you can do for your hormonal health. But if you're in pain, we're not going to move. So lemongrass, ice blue, and copaiba is going to help with that. Now, it's really, really important for us, as the girls have already mentioned, to remove the toxic load in our homes. There's absolute robust science around a dirty home these days is better than a clean home, depending on how many chemicals you use around your home. Like, that's ridiculous and scary stuff. So this is where your Purify and your On Guard cleaning concentrate come into play. We also know that the chemicals in our personal care, as I mentioned before, and our generalized house cleaning products are what are called endocrine disruptors, often through disrupting endocrine hormones, they actually become obesogens. So as we are slowing down and going through that change of life, we know that our body composition changes. But just to know that that spray and wipe, that Domestos, that Febreze, and that Rexona that you're spraying underneath your arm is significantly impacting the way that your body relates to weight is something to consider. So Purify, On Guard cleaning concentrate, and your Coast, as the girls have already mentioned before, is a really, really safe, easy way to replace significant amount of cleaning products around your house. Now, as we go through change of life as well, we do become far more sensitive. So our Purify, our On Guard, our Tea Tree, and our Coast, I find, are really great for that energetic boundaries around us, that safety zone. And Louisa has already talked about this. So it's really important for hormonal cleaning safely, which means estrogen balance. So as females age, we tend to become more estrogen dominant, particularly if we're using a lot of high toxic ingredients. And men going through similar, which is called andropause, they become very easily estrogen dominant as well. And those endocrine disruptors are pro-estrogen, that are found in our personal care and our generalized cleaning products. So that is why it's so important. If one swap your shop that you make in the next couple of weeks, it is using On Guard cleaning concentrate to replace anything underneath your sink. Okay, lavender. Lavender is one of the most well-researched essential oils globally. Lavender is for sleep, stress, skincare, cortisol. It is specific for hormonal hot flashes, for allowing us to access our natural melatonin stores. We know that if we are sleeping well, our brain is better, our digestion is better, and our mood is better, and our hormonal balance is better. So lavender is a must throughout the day. Now, lavender is what's called like an adaptogen. So it can calm you to sleep, but it can also uplift your mood as well. So it's great for energy and vitality production. As we age, as we are spending our energy being a carer, our energy centers, our mitochondria are depleted. So that's where our lavender and copaiba will come into play, and our grapefruit, for example, to help boost that energy and petrol stores. As Louisa mentioned, that during these hormonal changes in our lives, our skin changes again. So our lavender, our tea tree, and our purify for the breakouts. Now we tend to lose our collagen stores. Lavender is one of those oils, and your copaiba to put in your skincare at night for stress care, sleep care, but also for collagen firming support. Now, tea tree is really specific for skin and vaginal microbiome support, for immune resilience, for clearing congestion and hormonal skin. And as we go through that change of life as well, we find that our immunity can be up and down, and we may pick up more colds and flus. Beautiful thing about tea tree in particular, and our lavender is really, and our coast blend is really supportive to our respiratory and our generalized immune system health. Our coast blend. Now, I was given coast blend, I think about this time last year, and at first I did not like it. If you live in Queensland, some of us on the call live in Queensland, we have had so much rain. Like it's almost laughable that everyone's saying everything's so dry at the moment, because we've only literally just dried out from just non-stop rain. And when I got coast, I didn't like it, but it smelt like Purify. And so I just dabbed it everywhere around the house, and it instantly lifts and dries and motivates. You can feel that, as Louisa mentioned, that expansion into your respiratory, but also with that, if you're breathing more deeply into life and it's a clean breath, it's going to help reset our nervous system. So coast is really particular for that nervous system regulation, that adrenal reset, and the grounding that comes with those two things. Now, as we age, that's because of the hormonal dysfunction and the varying fluctuations of our hormones. We don't bounce back with resilience into joy as quick as we did when we were younger. That's why the copaiba, the coast blend in particular, your lavender and your citrus bloom is really going to help with that nervous system regulation. Coast, the oils in coast, very clever. If you're not across that blend, really dive into it. When we are at this age, Louisa touched on it, we spend our energy so often on everyone else, and we just come to that emotional and that physical, that mental and that adrenal burnout. Coast really helps put that petrol in the tank of our adrenals, like Aroma Touch does. So we just feel like we've got something solid there. You know how when you're hungry and then you eat, and when you finally feel like that, the food like hit your system, it's like, that's what coast does, as well as Aroma Touch. Now, our citrus bloom, if you need to start somewhere, and you're first on your journey, and you're a perfume and a personal care lover. Like, you can't go down in that toilet aisle that I haven't gone down for years, but you can't go down that aisle without buying a smelly candle or something smelly for the toilet or something smelly that plugs in. And then there was something, where was I? I was at a chemist today, and there was a designer brands, like little like aromatherapy roller bottles, like in these like groovy names of dupes of perfumes. And I think you got 12 perfumes for like $10. Like, that stuff is going to kill you. That is where Citrus Bloom comes into place, because it is so deliciously perfumey, candle-like fragrant. But the clever thing about doTERRA blends, the aroma is great. It replaces all those beautiful smelling things in our life, but it packs a punch with our physiology as well. So the ingredients in Citrus Bloom not only uplift, calm, and regulate, but they help balance our stress hormones. And the oils in there help with our metabolism and help with blood sugar balancing. So if you're taking your assist with your meal, you're having your grapefruit in your water, you can diffuse aroma bloom around the dining room table, and you're actually going to calm your limbic brain. You're going to support your parasympathetic dominance. You're going to lower your cortisol, which improves your heart rate, which improves your digestion, which improves your blood sugar flexibility, because we know when we are highly stressed, that stress can drive blood sugars through the roof. High blood sugars are high pro-inflammatory. They drive so many metabolic potential diseases, high blood pressure, for example, rapid weight gain, insomnia, you name it, it happens. So that's why I'm really excited that everyone who buys this BOGO box is going to get the assist. Now I can talk underwater for hours. I got to hurry up. Okay. Citrus Bloom, it uplifts, it soothes anxious energy, and it helps support release of oxytocin, our feel-good, happy hormone. It just produces hormonal harmony. And again, it's another great adrenal oil. So that feeling of wired and tired, utilize your Citrus Bloom. It's a delicious blend for sleep with your lavender as well. Okay, let's get on to the good stuff. Let's look at weight management. Your assist is the unsung hero. And Tony, you're on the call. I love that do you mind if I share? Can you unmute yourself, Tony? Is that okay?
Yep. Hi.
Hey, I heard that you misinterpreted what Effie said about taking the assist, which was awesome, because you take the assist the way that I take the assist, and you noticed an incredible change in your shape.
Definitely.
No. Oh, him too, but it was Louis.
Oh, sorry.
But Tony did as well. He misunderstood me. I think everyone misunderstands me. I think I have to learn how to speak again. But maybe it's working for the best. All right, I'm going now.
Okay, so what the assist actually does is, the instructions when it first came out with doTERRA was to take one assist tablet with your largest carbohydrate meal of the day. Okay, that is the American instructions. Here in Australia, you can take an assist with every meal. And what assist actually does is it helps regulate your blood sugar, allow it to be far more flexible rather than stuck on high. And it actually helps that insulin spike control. It actually helps by slowing down carbohydrate absorption. So it allows you to have an even more lower blood sugar, because it's those spikes that cause all the damage. And if you've heard of those GLP-1 activators that a lot of people take, This is your natural version. So you have your cinnamon, you have your MetaPower blend in here, you have your berberine, and you have your mulberry leaf, which all are evidence-based to help lower blood sugar levels and reduce them and maintain them within a healthy range. And we know by having a healthy range and flexible blood sugar levels, it helps with decreasing inflammation, helps with better absorption, better digestion, better metabolism, and it helps with natural weight management. The Assist is a core menopause and andropause support. So 1 tablet with each meal, regardless of whether it's a large carb meal or a low carb meal, the benefits of metabolism, digestive support, blood sugar support, liver support you are going to receive from the Assist is quite remarkable. If you couple that with grapefruit's superpower is it works on a very similar way that Assist does. And in your MetaPower Assist, you do have grapefruit in there because it is part of the MetaPower oil. It helps support appetite control, particularly those sugar cravings. It is a really specific support for gut health, liver health. So if our gut is working well, everything else is working well. And it is uplifting, bright mood management. And a drop in your water throughout the day will help support your digestion, sugar control, appetite control. Now, this is just a beautiful little routine of being metapowerful, looking after your metabolic health, featuring grapefruit, MetaPower Assist, and our full MetaPower range. So this is a little protocol that we'll probably talk about in depth another time. So for midlife, for menopause, for weight management, andropause, this kit, this little BOGO box, helps with reducing inflammation and pain. It helps support insulin and GLP-1 pathways. It soothes emotional volatility and sensory overload. It improves sleep and your nervous system repair. It supports detox, skin, and hormonal balance. So Copaiba, I think the girls have covered Copaiba beautifully, so I won't go into it in detail. It is the free product in this box. It's anti-inflammatory, calming, nervous system support, endocrine support, anxiety. It helps with melatonin production, sleep, trauma, recovery, pain, hormonal balance. Really great for, in particular, autoimmune, reproductive issues. So how do you is there anyone on the call who doesn't have doTERRA in their life? If you don't, just let me know in the comment section, because all of you included customers who are already on the call. If you haven't got the BOGO box yet, look, it is $221 Australian, 243 NZ. You're saving just in this kit alone $350. You get, how many is that? 11 products for the price of 5. After tonight, you know how magically multitasking this beautiful little kit is. Now, today's special was buy Assist and get a grapefruit for free. So if you are really here to focus on your hormonal wellness and natural weight management, what I would do is couple the Assist and the grapefruit special tonight only, because at midnight that will stop. I would add a MetaPower Lifestyle bundle to your purchasing of your Assist, because this little bottle of Assist here is only, I think, 30 tablets. If you're taking an Assist with each meal to maximize the effects of the Assist, you'll need at least 2 bottles in a month. So that would be my recommendation. If it's not natural weight management and hormonal, it's more pain management, I would look at adding the Simple Solutions to your Assist, and you get your grapefruit for free. I want to thank you all for being on the call tonight. We just love educating, and I am so blessed to work with some of the most remarkable, smartest women I have come across. And it's just an honor to work alongside you, to our customers who love doTERRA as much as we do. Thank you so, so much for coming on this journey and changing your lives, one drop and one pure nature's product at a time. Now, questions. Have I got a lot of questions? Everyone, unmute yourselves. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's just look at questions. Is there anything?
Sorry, is it okay if he wants to tell you about MetaPower, what happens to him? He was excited to talk to you and tell you quickly. Is that
Thanks,
okay?
Effie. Thanks,
Yeah,
Effie.
sure.
Put him on the spot. So yeah, I recently started taking it. It was good. I'm down 19 kilos. Yay for me. But the
That
greatest
is
thing,
fantastic.
yeah, it changes moods. So that, I can actually vouch for all the items that you've mentioned. But not only that, with the weight loss that I've gained, I've actually come off the blood pressure tablets as well. So it does change your life in a big way. So kudos to you guys, and thanks for helping us get to where we are.
Tony, that is awesome. We need to do a men's health class, I reckon.
I agree.
Awesome. We'll talk. Thank you so much. That is off blood pressure medications, 19 kilos down. Like
Yeah.
that, whoa. Absolutely, whoa. Bow to you. Thank you so much for sharing. And Effie, thank you for being such a master metabolism coach. Okay, what? Thank you so much, everyone. No other questions? No. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for coming. The recording will drop into your inbox to share with the world. Please do. BOGO box finishes at midnight tomorrow night, so I will get this class out pronto. Any information that anyone in your community needs to know, please let them know tonight. This little kit's magic. Love you heaps, everyone. Thank you so, so much for being on with us.